opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
It's time for Middleboro Matters on WVBF 1630 AM and 99.7 FM.
I don't like the number.
Hosted by Joey Driscoll. Call in at 508-822-1106. And now, here's Joey Driscoll with Middleboro Matters.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is Monday, the 10th of August, 2026. And as you did hear Chris Keefe say in the headlines, it happened. The Red Sox have lost a series for the first time in well over a month. I believe the last time they lost a series was either the World Cup hadn't started yet or it was just getting underway. So it's been a while that they've lost the series. So this is a tear that the Red Sox have been on. You know it was going to happen eventually. Red Sox fans, please do not hit the panic button. I know that there are going to be some. Ron mentioned this to me. There are going to be some that are going to hit the panic button over this loss to the Athletics. It's the Athletics. Don't worry about it. That's a team that's not going to make the playoffs. You don't have to deal with that team again. So just chalk it up to, they were better this time and look at what you did wrong in that series and prepare for Toronto, who comes in. Actually, no, they don't come in. We go to Toronto tonight, 7:07 p.m. So stay tuned for that series. That is going to be a very interesting series. Another division series for the Red Sox. The Red Sox against the division have been very, very powerful over this stretch as well. So that's something to really keep an eye on as well. Another thing I'm very excited for on the sports front is the Patriots' first preseason game. As I've talked about, that All-Star game had to have been the best All-Star game we've seen in a very long time. What a great end to that game. That was a classic. The Cardinals and the Titans, absolute classic of a game. I think we're going to get a really good game for the Patriots versus the Colts. I think that is going to be a really fun series of joint practices. That's coming up tomorrow and Wednesday, the 19th of not this upcoming Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So tomorrow and next Wednesday, those are going to be some really interesting. We only have one practice against. Sorry, they have two practices against the Eagles. Those are going to be interesting. Those two against the Eagles, the 19th and the 20th. And so is the joint practice against the Colts, obviously, as well, on the 11th, which is tomorrow. Times for these three practices, the last three practices of training camp before, you really get the regular season, well, not regular season, the preseason underway, which does get underway this Thursday against the Colts. Again, that should be a really fun matchup. Gates open at 9:15 a.m. each day for the public practices. Practice starts each day at approximately 10:15 a.m. Parking and access to all of the public practices are free. Regular season opens on September 9th, 8:20 p.m. with a rematch with the Seahawks in Seattle. That is a match. That is probably the biggest match of the whole season, right off the bat. That is a match that the Patriots have had circled on their schedule and have been practicing exclusively for the majority of the practices for that matchup. That is a big matchup. They were absolutely embarrassed and humiliated in the Super Bowl. This is a matchup where the Patriots are looking for a lot of revenge here. They're looking to get an upset victory over the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle on Banner Day, on Banner Night. Can they do it? I think there's a very strong possibility that the Patriots can pull it off. I think the Patriots have been practicing very, very hard for this one, and I think it's an extreme possibility that they could pull that off. Absolutely, for sure. But we will see what happens in that one. All right, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. One other sports-related thing I want to kind of mention here before we move on. I might get to a little bit more sports later on towards the end of the program here. Minor league baseball and all. Kind of maybe recapping the Cape League as well. Cape League is almost over. A couple of more days left in that season. Well, maybe we'll recap that. So we have that to talk about there in the sports. But one other thing I do want to mention here in this segment is the Raynham Summer Fun Run. That is tonight. Perfect opportunity to go out there and run and keep cool as well with a lot of drinks and Gatorade and stuff like that. It's still a little hot. I think the low tonight will be much better than it has been in the last few nights, which is great. Kind of starting to see the end of the tunnel, the end of the light, the light at the end of the tunnel. There we go. When it comes to this heat wave that we've been having, especially at night. The last couple of nights have not been fun to get sleep with, fortunately. But hopefully we get that relief tonight. But tonight, perfect opportunity to go to Raynham if you are a runner or like to be outside and run outside. Summer Fun Run in Raynham. 6 p.m. sign up, 6:30 p.m. start for the race, King Philip Street in Raynham. About a 2-mile course. Fun event always, every Monday during the summer. So there you go. Let's take our first commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about a couple of events that are taking place this week. One that is kind of wrapping up for this week, and another one that is another event that will be taking place this Thursday. So we'll talk about that. Your phone calls 508-822-1106. 508-822-1106 is number to call. We will be right back.
Hi, neighbor. Middleboro Gas and Electric would like to show you a quick see how they thank you. Whether you're renting insurance or putting in a new mailbox, DigSafe will help locate underground pipes and wires on your property and mark them to help prevent any damage. Before you dig, you must call 811 for any project that requires digging, drilling, excavating, grading, or trenching. A damaged gas line may create an explosion hazard that could result in loss of service, severe property damage, or worse. Don't take a chance. Call 811 before you dig.
Hi, I'm Chris Keach of the Morning Wake Up News here at WVBF. My good friend Joey Driscoll has an amazing program all about Middleboro Sunday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's called Middleboro in Review. He talks about sports, He talks about local events in Middleboro and anything of interest in Middleboro and beyond. So join him, Middleboro in Review, with Joey Driscoll, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., only here at AM 1530 WVBF and at 99.7 FM.
246. There you go. All right. (11:20 a.m.) We are back here on Middleboro Matters. Just a heads up programming note here for Middleboro Matters. This Middleboro Matters will be replayed on August 31st. That is 3 Mondays from today. I will be away that day on August 31st. So this will be a tape that I replay here for this program. So there you go. I want to talk about an event that is wrapping up this week. Public open sites, free lunch for kids. That's going to be going on until the 14th of August, which is the end of the week, which is Friday. Breakfast 8 a.m. to 8:30 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Lunch is 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. 50 William Street, Taunton, at the Taunton High School. Highland Hills Community Center on Monday through Friday. Lunch 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. 30 Highland Street, Taunton. As well, kids 18 and under, no ID is needed for this event. All meals must be consumed on site within the half hour of either breakfast or lunch there. Citizens for Citizens, Inc. will be holding a mobile food pantry in Taunton. That is going to be for adults who are 60 and older at the Taunton High School parking lot. This is coming up on Thursday from noon to 4. Requirements: you must reside in Taunton, must be income eligible, and you must pre-register. Contact registration is the following: Citizens for Citizens, Inc., Taunton, 508-823-6346. Please bring a current piece of mail or other document on the distribution day to verify a name and address. So there you go. Those are events that are ending this week, or are going to happen or ending this week as well. And as we kind of go along here, we got other events too that are wrapping up this week. You do have the final downtown Taunton Summer Concert at Liberty and Union Park, 78 Main Street in Taunton. That's coming up on Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. That's free admission for that event. It is encouraged that you bring your own lawn chairs. There will be beverages provided by Talisa's on Main. That's available for purchase on site. That is going to be for this event coming up on August 14th, the Catnip Junkies. That's coming up on the 14th. That's the final of the 4 concerts there. So that is coming up as well. An event that we've talked about before, and we will be talking about again. We're going to have Chuck Hart on again. I believe it is going to be September the 6th, the Sunday before Labor Day. On Middleboro Review, we're going to have Chuck Hart on once again. And we'll be talking, I think, quite a bit about this event. We talked about it the last time we had him on a couple of weeks ago as well. The Italian Dinner Fundraiser. That's going to be taking place on Saturday, September the 26th, from Oak Point. their annual Italian dinner fundraiser, and that's for the St. Vincent de Paul, Middleboro, as well. The food pantry. Doors will open at 5 p.m. on the 26th, and dinner will be served at 6. There will be a basket raffle, a silent auction, and there will also be a scratch ticket raffle. Hosted by Oak Point Friends of the Sacred Heart Food Pantry, Middleboro. For more information, you can call 774 223 7742. Again, that is 774 223 7742. The price $40, and again, it's going to be located at the Oak Point Ballroom. That is a beautiful, beautiful ballroom there. Great for these kind of events. It's hosted a lot of good events over the years. Candidates forums and other events. I think that ballroom is perfect for an event like this. So that's where the event will take place. There will be no tickets sold at the door, so you're going to buy them ahead of time, in advance. You want to go to this event if you're in the Middleboro area. All proceeds will benefit the Sacred Heart Food Pantry. So there you go. You got a lot to look forward to in August and September when it comes to these kind of important events. Also, every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 1, through the 1st of November, is going to be the Church Green Farmers Market. They accept SNAP, EBT, HIP, WIC, and senior vouchers, cash and card as well. The Church Green Farmers Market in Taunton. Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. through the 1st of November. So you got plenty of time to check out that farmers market. There's a lot of great farmers markets in this area throughout the summer and really all year, as we always mention throughout the year. Great farmers markets in the area. Massachusetts does a really great job with the farmers markets. Really, all of New England does, but Massachusetts definitely does a great job with that. So there you go. If you have any questions about the Church Green Farmers Market, email cgfmmanager@firstparistaunton.org. That is coming up as well. The second half of the show, we're going to talk a little bit more about some sports. We're going to do some minor league baseball. We'll talk about the Cape League. We'll give it a little minor update on the Lowell Spinners as their first season is starting to wrap up. They will not make the playoffs, most likely. I was looking at their record the other day. Not really a record that is indicative of making the playoffs. So we'll kind of go over what I thought was positive, what I thought was negative about the first year. Not a lot of negative, not a lot of other than maybe the errors. There were a lot of errors for the Lowell Spinners this year, especially early on. But were the expectations really that high for the Lowell Spinners to make the playoffs in year number one? Yes, they got some really great ownership and great coaching, but no, I don't think the expectation to make the playoffs was strongly there. And that's the case with a lot of first year teams, unless the first year team is really, really built really well. I think Vegas, the Golden Knights, made the playoffs their first year. It doesn't happen that often. First year team has a great year right off the bat. Does not happen that often. Vegas was one of the outliers in that. Really, so far through their 10 years they've been a franchise, They have been one of the best franchises, I think, one of the most consistent franchises in the entire NHL. It's just my opinion, but they have been very impressive. So we'll talk a little bit about some of that stuff as well. We'll get some local events to talk about too, as well in the second half. And your phone calls, 508-822-1106. We will be right back after the news.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. Amit Thomas. Russian drones and missiles continue to rain down on Ukraine as the Ukrainians increasingly bring the war home to Russia.
So we checked the public service files to make sure we have info on that account.
We did. I just talked about it.
I knew you talked about it, but I didn't know if it was in the file.
It is.
Okay.
Yep, it is. I'll put it right on top. You can see it.
The barrage causing fuel shortages in Russia, eating into Russian refining capacity and unsettling the Russian public. I'm Charles.
Iran continues to insist on control.
I've started to watch the WrestleMania's back.
Okay.
I have Netflix, so I'm starting to watch all the WrestleManias back. I watched the first two. And first one was good, I think, in my opinion. Second one, so far, I haven't gotten through all of it. I see why people don't like it.
Well,
Especially that first part.
Unique thing is that they went from three different locales: New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. The match, I think, was Hogan and Roddy was
And if
the
that
main
one
event.
could leave,
Mhm.
Didn't go over well.
No.
Like, there was one match that lasted all over 2
I
seconds.
think it'd be a disaster.
So no. The first one went well. The second one was what it was, and then the third one really established.
There are no words to express the fear.
But
Yeah.
you had the main event, which is Hogan and the Giant, but you had a great match between Steve Austin and Seth.
Absolutely. So that was a good WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to watching that. But that first part of WrestleMania, the Roddy Piper Mr. T boxing match is entertaining, knowing the history between the two. Like they didn't like each other.
No.
So knowing the history there, it's a little entertaining to watch.
Had some certain views. He didn't. What you're seeing with a lot of stuff is that you respect wrestling.
Yeah.
And you respect what the guys do. And so they want to make good matches. Back then, it was just the way to get your name out there. And I guess Mr. T was really difficult person.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they had. Was that WrestleMania where they had Elvira on it?
303-4223.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm glad they had her. I was like, that second option for that final. I think the final part of WrestleMania is that first part of WrestleMania with Susan St. James. Horrendous. Absolutely.
He was arrested there in April. Authorities
I think
accused
we
him of
have
being
to
the leader of an Irish
check the
organized
PSA
crime
file
gang,
about
running an
the
international
Public
drug
Library
smuggling
website.
and
The
money
bookset.
laundering
Okay.
empire, with tentacles stretching far and wide.
So we can get around to it now.
$5
Yeah.
million
You can't,
capital.
we'll do it
The
after
Department
the
of
show.
State accused
Yeah.
Skinahan and his brother of taking over the illegal
Haven't seen it.
operation from their father.
So
They
far.
say started it in the 90s. Skinahan has denied being an organized crime boss.
I don't see it.
European consumers
No.
can expect natural gas from Cyprus
That
to
is
help
the
meet their
case.
energy needs by March of 2028.
That's-
That word from Cyprus's energy minister. The Mediterranean is becoming an
Here.
alternative energy source for Europe as Russia's war in Ukraine and
Yeah, there's no,
unrest in the Middle East push Europe to look for new
There
sources.
is no.
News and analysis. townhall.com. The Sun and Surf, part of the American summertime experience with its public health alerts involving a flesh-eating bacteria, is putting a damper on things, especially for those who can't resist diving into the surf.
Louisiana has confirmed 9 cases so far this year of Vibrio vulnificus.
Oh yeah, when you play the tape back, you don't have to do a town hall news.
I think I stopped it when Town Hall News was on.
I
started the program late.
I did not hit stop on the tape. So the town hall news is on there.
All right. What I've done when I played it last time was just,
Climate Agency says this
you
summer,
know,
Make sure to play 111.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure to play 111 because there will be an old town hall news on there.
what I'll do is just play the regular Town Hall News from that day and move it forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here you go. That's the book there.
Book sale. I definitely gonna mention that next. All right, we have breaking news, hot off the printer. The next book sale for the Friends of the Taunton Public Library. That's going to be Thursday of this week, the 13th of August, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So that is coming up this week. So if you're in Taunton, if you're going to your near the library that day, go and check that out. Book sale coming up this week. So there you go. There's a couple of big events happening in Middleboro that I definitely want to touch upon here that are very important. One of them being a line dancing event. Postponed. This was supposed to take place on August the 7th. This was postponed to the 28th. 4 wheels will be replaced with 2 stepping as the Peter H. Pierce Homestead hosts the 2nd annual Dance the Night Away line dancing in the parking lot. That's from 5 to 8 p.m. And that will again take place on the 28th of August. Family fun event that will be in the parking lot of Pierce and North Main Streets in Middleboro. The event offers a chance to learn a few steps and then join in as a community. Those up to the challenge can try their luck on the mechanical bull as well. This event is funded in part by a local cultural council grant from the town of Middleboro, offered through Massachusetts Cultural Council. So there you go. That is a big event happening as well. Do want to make sure we talk about the free Narcan training happening in Middleboro. That's coming up on September the 14th. Middleboro Matters. Not our Middleboro Matters, but there is an organization in Middleboro called Middleboro Matters. Is hosting a free community Narcan training from 10 to 11 a.m. Monday, September 14th at the Select Board Meeting Room at the Town Hall, 10 at Nickerson Avenue. This training will teach participants how to recognize the signs of opioid overdose, to respond safely and effectively during an overdose emergency, and administer nasal Narcan. Participants will be trained on how to administer nasal Narcan. Take-home kits will be provided. And if you go to the Mascot Week and click on this article, there is a Google Doc form to register for the event. So there you go. have that happening as well. Big thing happened in Middleboro last week. The Middleboro Select Board members approved a payment agreement for a proposed energy storage system to be built, and that's going to be on Jericho Road. 4 Select Board members approved a plan at their August 3rd meeting, so last Monday. That would pay the town $254,000, a little over that, $254,360 over 20 years. Select Board Chair Teresa Farley cast the sole vote against the plan, known as a payment in lieu of taxes, or pilot. She echoed her previous opinion that the agreement was not appropriate for Middleboro. The vote was strictly for the payment agreement and not for the project itself. Boston-based Kersage Energy hopes to build a battery energy storage system that uses rechargeable batteries to store electricity and release it when needed. This system would result in $10 million in savings over 20 years for customers of Middleboro Gas and Electric, the company's general manager, Ken Stone, said. So this is a really big deal for Middleboro Gas and Electric. Speaking of Middleboro Gas and Electric, might have them on at some point before the end of the summer. So maybe you'll know a little bit more about this project, because I'm sure that's going to be one of the questions that will come up as well, along with the summer stuff as well. Stay tuned for when that interview will happen. Probably after Labor Day. So stay tuned for that. Battery system charges itself overnight, discharges during high demand periods. This results in savings, company representatives said, because the system is used during high demand periods, such as afternoons and evenings, which is the time of day used to set utility rates. At a lengthy discussion at an earlier meeting, residents expressed differing opinions. Some raised concerns about possible safety issues and health risks, and others noted the project would provide a clean energy source that would save money. The interim fire chief, Dana Fontaine, expressed support for the facility. He said he met with the fire chief in the town of Sterling. There is a similar facility located in Sterling. So there you go. Also, Jake Kraling, a fire captain from the town of Beverly, spoke on behalf of Kersage, noted that the safety features continue to improve with each project built, each new project built. The company also offers training to fire departments, according to Andrew Bernstein, manager director at Kersage. So, anyone listening in Middleboro, what are your thoughts about that? That's an article there from the Basket Week. What are your thoughts about that? Anyone listening from Middleboro, give us a call. 508-822-1106 is the number. Give us a call. Tell us your thoughts about that potential project. So there you go. Those are all the big events really happening for this week in Middleboro and the surrounding towns as well. We are going to take our final commercial break here. We are going to get into the minor league baseball side of things, and the Lowell Spinners and the Cape Cod Baseball League a little bit as well. Give you a little preview of that. Of what I think my opinions are on those, as those are kind of starting to wind down, especially the Cape League as they enter the final couple of days left in their season, I believe. The championship series is set. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The Futures League's winding down as well. That's coming to an end very soon. Lowell Spinners, their season's coming to an end. The first season back. Definitely some positives. Definitely a lot of negatives, but there are some positives in there to talk about. So we will definitely talk about that and the minor leagues and what my thoughts are on that too. But we'll take your phone calls on anything that we discussed today so far. 508-822-1106 is the number. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break and a little more break for a Success Journal.
Hi, neighbor. Middleboro Gas and Electric would like to share a quick safety tip with you. Many people have been taking on home improvements this year, but have you also upgraded your electrical safety system? Older homes, like so many in our area, have outdated breakers and wiring that may not meet the high-powered needs of modern technology. A licensed electrician knows all the code requirements, including the latest updates adopted just last year. You can find an easy-to-read summary of home upgrades to consider at mged.com.
Now, the Success Journal. Here's Chris Whitting.
It was a hot day, and Larry Llewellyn was tired and thirsty. When he asked for a drink of water, somebody pointed him to a barrel of rainwater with an old tin dipper in it. Larry took one drink, but couldn't stop thinking about the germs he was probably picking up from that grimy ladle. He instantly saw the need for a safe, sanitary way to quench thirst anywhere. So, before long,
The bubbler.
he created a handy disposable paper cup.
Okay, no.
His new health cups did well, but some kids refused to use them. So, Larry swallowed hard and renamed the cups for a popular line of toys called Dixie Dolls. Kids love those new Dixie cups and sales soared. Today, Larry Llewellyn's Dixie cups still have orders pouring in. With the Success Journal, I'm Chris Whitting.
That'll be $84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey. Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay? I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want.
What?
Just a little win for
The 5 cents you get after, you pay for gas and everything else. It doesn't that doesn't pay for pizza in one day. That's like
No, it does not pay for pizza.
that's a complete lie. I've already saved enough to buy pizza. No, you didn't. Don't lie to us.
Joey, wasting our commercial.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Alright, back to the pumpkin music. Fun stuff. I like how Chris put the Worcester Red Sox game from yesterday. That the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs squealed back.
He had a lot of. He was in a punny mood. Let's put it that way.
All right, let's talk about the minor league baseball roundup, as I like to call it. The Worcester Red Sox, will start there first. Today's Monday, and Monday usually means, unless there is special circumstances, like the beginning of the season, they'll play on a Monday. Memorial Day, they'll play on a Monday. I believe the final week of the season, they play on a Monday, which that's coming up pretty quickly as well. But today is not one of those days. They're off. The entire minor leagues are off for Monday here. Yesterday were the finales of the series. Yesterday, and as Chris put it, which made me laugh, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs squealed back to defeat the Worcester Red Sox 7-6 yesterday. Not a great way to end the series for the Worcester Red Sox, but they still have a pretty impressive record. They're 60-49. Just gonna keep that up. Just gonna keep that up, and they will make the playoffs. I think they can do that. We will kind of give you an update here as to what will be happening tomorrow with the Worcester Red Sox. Right now, tomorrow things get underway for AAA at 3:05 p.m. Eastern, 12:05 p.m. Pacific. So a camp day in Tacoma when Tacoma takes on Reno. So that should be a fun matchup. 3:05 p.m. Eastern. Those are two. Both of the teams are under 500, but they usually have pretty entertaining series when these two teams face each other. Worcester will be back at Polar Park. They will take on the Buffalo Bison, and that's going to be a very important series. That's game one tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. start. The late cap is Las Vegas Aviators taking on Sacramento. That's at 10:05 p.m. Eastern. That should be an interesting matchup as well. In AA, for yesterday, the Portland Sea Dogs wrapped up the series with the Fisher Cats on a high note, 9-6 victory, a 57-50 record heading into tomorrow when they will take on Binghamton. It will be in Portland to do so. They'll take on Binghamton. And Binghamton is kind of just hoping the season will end. 44-64 right now for Binghamton. They're still a rather dangerous team, so you got to be careful. But kind of a team that is kind of sputtering at this point. The Binghamton Rumble Ponies are. So, we'll see what happens in the series. Hopefully Portland can take advantage of that and win the series. It's a 6 p.m. start for that one. The nightcap in AA, there's two, technically, nightcaps. Both 8:05 p.m. Eastern starts. Frisco will take on San Antonio, and Springfield will take on Northwest Arkansas. Another match to keep an eye on as well, Tulsa taking on Arkansas as well. So keep an eye on that matchup. That should be a really fun matchup too. Now let's go to High A. The Greenville Drive wrapped up the series with, I can find their logo. There we go. When it comes to this website, the Greenville Drive logo, for some reason, is always the hardest one to find. I don't understand why. Maybe that's something that the Greenville Drive should take a look at. Maybe revamp their logo to make it pop out more in the MILB website. Anyway, they finished the series yesterday with the Hudson Valley Renegades with a 15-12 loss in 12 innings. Again, they have a day off today. The Greenville Drive get underway with a series against, if I can find the Greenville Drive here. There we go. Against the Hub City Spartanburgers. Greenville, these last couple of series here are going to be very, very important for them. They got to pull together some victories here. They are firmly below 500, 47-58. Got to pull together some wins. Can they do that? I don't know. Then one of the other earlier games of Tuesday tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. This is a completion of a game that was supposed to take place back in July. And there's Palm Beach taking on Daytona. That's a 4:30 p.m. Eastern start. As for Salem, if I can find their logo, they are going to be traveling to Salisbury, Maryland. They will take on the Delmarva Shorebirds, 7:05 p.m. start for that series. The nightcap is at 10:05 p.m. The Visalia Rawhide take on the Stockton Ports, 10:05 p.m. Eastern, 7:05 p.m. Pacific. Oh, and the nightcap in the High A, I didn't mention that. There are two nightcaps. Tri-City takes on Vancouver in Vancouver at 10:05 p.m. Eastern, 7:05 p.m. Pacific. Also at 7:05 p.m. Pacific, Spokane takes on Everett. 10:05 p.m. Pacific. There on that one. So there you go. That is your minor league baseball kind of breakdown as well. Now, quick look at the Cape League. Yesterday was game number 1 of the Cape League Championship. It was Bourne and Harwich. Bourne takes game 1, 7-3. Game 2 is tonight at 6 p.m. in Bourne. Can Bourne finish the series? Very distinct possibility that they can do so. We will see. Harwich has been very tough. Harwich, I believe that they beat Yarmouth Dennis to get here. Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, who were on an absolute tear this year. One of the definitely by far the best record in the Cape League. Just kind of lost their momentum and lost some steam down the last 10-game stretch, where they kind of ran out of steam, ran out of energy in the playoffs. They played very valiantly in the playoffs. They played really well in the playoffs, actually. The Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox getting through that first series, but losing that second series. Unfortunately, missing out on the Cape League Championship. But they'll learn from that, and they'll be back next year and probably just as strong, for sure. But Harwich and Bourne game 2 is tonight. We'll see what happens in that series. Should be a fun game tonight. Does the season end tonight with a Bourne Braves championship? We'll see. And finally, the Futures League. Lowell does not play tonight. Actually, the season's over for Lowell. Actually, the season ended last night. Actually, so as my tape ends, that's not cool. Anyway, oh well. Lowell Spinners, their season ended last night, and it was a 7-1 loss to the Worcester Bravehearts. They did not make the playoffs. They had a record under 500, well under 500 by I think 10 games or more. Semifinals are as follows. That playoffs start tonight. It's Worcester and Vermont, and on the other side it is Norwich and New Britain. 6:35 p.m. start for both games. All right, 11:58 a.m. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I'll be back next week for another edition of Middleboro Matters. I'll be back on Friday with Eric. Me and Eric will be on second hour. Stay tuned for that. Might have a guest on in the first hour as well, calling in. Stay tuned for an update on that. Maybe Thursday, I'll have a quick update on that. But anyway, bye-bye, everybody. Have a great Monday. My tape decided it wanted to end.
It happens.
So there's that weird cut.
Yes, don't worry about it. If we have to fill time, we'll fill time.
Yeah, that's going to be about 6 minutes of fill time.
think he fixed the AM, so we should hear it.
All right, let's see here. Real quick. These good. That's good. Perfect. That's good. That's great.
It all
Perfect.
seems well.
Good. Great.
Won't
Good.
stop me from
Perfect.
checking anyway.
Good.
but
Great.
that's
Good. Good. Perfect. Okay. All right. Now we end the stream for today. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye.